In the serene harbor of Incheon, South Korea, a large passenger ferry known as the MV Sewol prepared for a routine journey. It was a cool morning on the 16th of April, 2014. More than 450 passengers boarded the ship, filled with the excitement of the journey ahead. Many were high school students from Danwon High School, embarking on a field trip, each with dreams, hopes, and no idea of the tragic destiny that awaited. As the Sewol pulled away from the harbor, loved ones waved goodbye, promises of safe returns hanging in the air. Little did they know that for many, this was the last goodbye. The ferry was bound for Jeju Island, a picturesque location favored by tourists. The journey was expected to be smooth, the destination promising the joy of exploration and the thrill of a shared adventure. As the MV Sewol set sail, passengers began to settle in. The atmosphere was one of joviality and anticipation. Students from Danwon High School filled the ferry with youthful energy and laughter, unaware of the shadow that was to fall. The crew of the Sewol, led by Captain Lee Jun-seok, were at the helm, guiding the large vessel through the calm seas. With years of experience under his belt, Captain Lee was a figure of authority, his stern demeanor hiding a sense of responsibility for all on board. The journey began smoothly. The ferry, a beacon of light in the vast ocean, sliced through the waters under a sky painted with hues of the setting sun. As night fell, the passengers retreated to their cabins, their minds filled with dreams of the exciting day to come. The morning of April 16th dawned bright and clear. The island of Jeju was a distant speck on the horizon, its promise of adventure pulling the ferry closer. Little did anyone know these were the last moments of tranquility they were to experience. As the Sewol made its way through the Yellow Sea, passengers were beginning their day, looking forward to their imminent arrival at Jeju Island. Without warning, the ferry took a sharp turn. The world tilted as the ship lurched dramatically. Inside, confusion reigned. People struggled to stay upright, their belongings thrown around as the ship listed heavily. Faces turned pale. Laughter turned into cries of fear. The atmosphere transformed in an instant. Outside, the Sewol was leaning dangerously to one side. The sea, once a tranquil expanse, now seemed an ominous force, ready to swallow the ferry whole. The crew, in an attempt to control the escalating situation, issued orders over the loudspeakers. Their voices, meant to reassure, only added to the growing panic. In a horrifying turn of events, the MV Sewol capsized completely. The world turned upside down for those on board. Chaos ensued. Cries for help echoed across the sea, a haunting symphony of the unfolding disaster. The once bustling ferry was now a lifeless mass of metal, lying defeated in the heart of the ocean. Rescue boats swarmed the area, attempting to pull survivors from the icy waters. Survivors were pulled from the water, their faces a mask of shock and relief. On the shore, families waited anxiously, their faces etched with grief and uncertainty. Every rescued passenger was a beacon of hope, every confirmed death a crushing blow. The nation was plunged into mourning. Candlelight vigils were held. Photographs of the victims filled television screens, and tearful interviews painted a picture of the enormous human loss. In the wake of the tragedy, the demand for answers grew louder. Protests erupted, pointing fingers at the perceived incompetence of the crew and the government's handling of the rescue operation. The country demanded justice for the victims of the Sewol. The investigation into the Sewol disaster was a mammoth task. Forensic experts, maritime officials, engineers, all were brought together in a race against time to unravel the tragedy. It was discovered that the Sewol had made a sharp turn which caused the poorly secured and overloaded cargo to shift. The imbalance proved fatal, leading to the ferry's capsize. Public outrage grew as it was revealed that Captain Lee and his crew were among the first to abandon the sinking ship, leaving passengers behind. They were brought to court, facing charges that reflected the nation's fury. Controversy also surrounded the government's handling of the rescue operation. Accusations of inefficiency and a slow response led to public protests, demanding accountability and justice. Amidst the facts, rumors began to circulate, conspiracy theories sprouted, and misinformation spread, creating a web of confusion and distrust. In the midst of the chaos, a shadowy figure watched from the sidelines. This enigmatic individual, known only as the Observer, had been following the Sewol case from the beginning. The Observer was no ordinary spectator. With access to intricate maps and secret reports, they began to uncover a different story, a piece of the puzzle that no one else seemed to have noticed. Rewind to the moment the ferry made the sharp turn. The Observer's keen eye noticed something else, a faint glimmer beneath the waterline, followed by a ripple. Could it have been an explosion? An anonymous tip-off led the investigation team to re-examine the sunken seawall. To their astonishment, they found signs of an external impact, aligning with the Observer's theory. This revelation sent shockwaves across the nation. The media went into a frenzy. The Sewol disaster was no longer a simple case of negligence. It had morphed into a complex conspiracy that needed unraveling. The new evidence ignited a fresh wave of activity in the investigation team. Diving teams were sent down to explore the wreckage anew. Forensic experts pored over the newfound signs of an external impact. The Observer watched as the pieces fell into place. While the public speculated, they knew that the truth was far more complex. A clandestine meeting. An anonymous source hands over a flash drive to an investigator. Information that could blow the case wide open. The flash drive contained damning evidence. It showed a small, unidentified submarine in the vicinity of the seawall at the time of its sharp turn. The implications were staggering. When the investigators announced their new findings to the world, the nation watched in shock. The Sewol disaster was no longer just a maritime tragedy. It had become a tale of espionage, of unknown enemies, of a peaceful journey turned deadly. The tale of the Sewol ferry disaster is a complex tapestry of human error, systemic negligence, and a shocking twist of espionage. It served as a wake-up call, a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of responsibility. In the aftermath, maritime safety reforms were enacted. Memorials were built to honor the victims, and the nation vowed never to forget the disaster. And as for the Observer, they remain a mystery. Their intervention brought a new perspective to the tragedy and changed the course of the investigation. As the sun sets over the tranquil sea, we remember the Sewol, a symbol of a national tragedy, a catalyst for change, and a mystery that added a chilling twist to an already heartbreaking tale.